Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends and colleagues, this is the end of the joint plenary session of the World Health Summit with the Grand Challenges annual meeting. It was a real pleasure to work together with the whole team of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, organized this meeting the whole day. Actually, it was intertwined. I assisted to almost all the organizing meetings. I must have missed one. I actually was in the one when we decided that Keynote would be the moderator. I missed the one when it was decided that I should say the concluding remarks. It's difficult. One thing is easy, thanking everybody involved. Of course, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the Grand Challenges partners, Government of Canada, welcome, and all the others, and especially all the important institutions and personalities, also those who signed this wonderful document. This really is partnering at its best in the spirit of Sustainable Development Goal 17. And this will have long-term effects, and thank you all for this. Perhaps the most important result is the feeling, and I sense it's the feeling myself have and you have, and that is there is a new energy in global health. I certainly can say that for Berlin. I can say it for the academic institutions I know and I observe, and I feel it's in politics, certainly in our country, and I hope so, and long term, and I hope also in other countries. This is what we need. Energy, enthusiasm, optimism, and go ahead. But there are a few specific points I would also like to make, and one is the best of science, as we have heard, innovation, education, will remain the important driving forces of progress everywhere, in poor and in rich countries. The second is universal health coverage and robust health systems are the basis for a healthier life of all people, and they are anchor points in times of crisis. And three, the Sustainable Development Goals and the Agenda 2030 will remain the basis. And the action plan of WHO, as we have heard, presented by Dr. Tedros this afternoon, is an excellent guideline for our future discussions, programs, and projects. Sustainable Development Goal 3 specifically, of course, as you all know, addresses good health and well-being for all. However, health is also an important entry point and included in almost, if not all, 17 Sustainable Development Goals. From SDG 1 to no poverty, SDG 2 to zero hunger, SDG 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions, and SDG 17, partnerships for the goals. 4, improving global health requires scientific input from many disciplines, especially also scientific disciplines. And science and academia, first and foremost, have to overcome silos and fragmentation. And I know what I'm speaking about. 5, the concepts of One Health and planetary health are examples that transdisciplinary cooperation and looking at whole ecosystems help us to better understand and control zoonosis and to address the increasing challenge of antimicrobial resistance, AMR, and other problems. 6, improving global health requires coordination also at the policy level. Health in all policies implies that policymakers across different fields have to make sure and have to take into account the health implications of all their decisions in all ministries at all levels and seek synergies and avoid harmful health impacts by their decisions. 7, it is evident that global health is a very, very complex issue. Coping with complexity is one of the great challenges of the future. And this needs to include many disciplines, as I mentioned, and also includes, of course, the use of information technologies and artificial intelligence. If so many people and institutions have to cooperate and communicate with each other, it will be increasingly important and urgent to agree on a common basis of facts, approaches, and languages. And this is not always the case. There's a lot of misunderstanding frequently going on. 8, there is already, and this may come to a surprise to some of you, not to my friends, there is already a holistic, very powerful, unifying theory of life. The hypothesis on the origin and survival of species formulated by Charles Darwin more than 150 years ago, this theory includes consideration of complexity of our biology, actually with respect to their evolution, environment, and behavior, and lifestyle. Quite recently, new precise methods in genetics, genomics, molecular analysis have enabled us to understand how life developed 3.5 billion years ago and where Homo sapiens came from. This new knowledge confirms the old holistic theory of Darwin and helps us to understand why we get sick and how we can preserve health better. This new science and new knowledge emphasizes even more the importance and the close and direct interaction of biology, the environment we live in, and our behavior and lifestyle, adapted or not to the environment. These 3 components of life have always to be considered together in a holistic system of health and disease. 9, in some areas of the world, there is health and life, a threatening gap and a trap between our biology on the one hand and the environment and lifestyle on the other hand, and Tedros mentioned that. This is the reason for many of the so-called diseases of civilization, obesity, diabetes, mental health, allergies, some infectious diseases, cancers and others, not only in the industrialized countries, but increasingly so also in low and middle-income countries. This holistic view is, in fact, a theoretical basis for the Sustainable Development Goals. So, ladies and gentlemen, it will remain important to investigate the molecular details of life, viruses, bacteria, and larger animals, and of course, the species man. But at the same time, let us not lose sight of the holistic, comprehensive picture, including environment, lifestyles, and the organization of our societies. And this includes politics. So, finally, I want to thank you all, also on behalf of our team here in Berlin, and I'm sure on behalf of our partners in the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Thank you for your inspiring contributions to the last 3 days of public health discussion at the World Health Summit and at the Grand Challenges meeting, which already started, continues the next following days. I'm sure we'll all go home inspired to work together and improve health and well-being for all, our common noble goal. Thank you very much for coming and for participating. Thank you.